I'm Susan, and today you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at how we make movie magic. As you probably know, the word movie is a nickname for moving pictures, and in the early days of filmmaking, it must have truly seemed like magic. In the late 1800s, the Pettibone Brothers Manufacturing Company produced magic lanterns, like this one, which were widely used by traveling showmen projecting images onto white backdrops. Imagine for a moment what that must have been like. You're sitting in a dark tent, suddenly the white backdrop is revealed and a single image appears. Then, when seen in the right order, in the right light and at the right speed, those images seem to come to life to create a magical new world. It has been making movies on this location for over 100 years. In that time, we have turned out some of the most memorable film moments in Hollywood history.
Hold on to your butts.
Thanks for noticing. From the very beginning, the basic concept of the filmmaking process has always remained the same. To make you, the audience, believe that everything that you see is real.
Today's filmmakers have more tools than ever before. High-tech cameras, super fast computers, but they still rely on a category of effects so distinctive, they're known as special.
And the earliest form of special effects are called practical effects, which are effects that are shot on set in front of the camera. And our first example of practical effects is models. Universal's 1932 film The Mummy made use of miniature effects, including scale models, like that one from its opening. And you can tell that's a model because if you look closely, the real pyramids do not say The Mummy. Universal relaunched The Mummy, and believe it or not, that Sphinx that you see there is this Sphinx model that you see here. This is the actual model that was used in the making of that film. And the attention to detail is incredible. The hieroglyphics, the scaffolding. I think Susan would agree that models are still a great way to fool the camera.
Absolutely. Another filmmaking tool that also fools the camera is the glass mat. In the terrifying film The Birds, the brilliant Alfred Hitchcock had matte paintings created to achieve the eerie look he wanted for the town of Bodega Bay. Take a look at the side screens. In this literal bird's eye view of the town, only the fire and the parking lot were real. Everything else was hand-painted on glass to create a mat and then dropped in front of the camera. And then the footage of the birds was incorporated to complete the effect.
All very cool stuff. So we've shown you two examples of practical effects, models and the glass mat.
And there is also a category of practical effects that involves performers and not just props. Practical stunts!
Someone say stunts?
Please welcome our special effects show stunt department!
Yeah! Woo, Susan, I like that!
Yeah!
Nate came flying in over there, Brock was upside down over there. How come you and I didn't get a fancy entrance like them?
Because they're wearing nice clothes. You may not know their faces, but you have seen their work in countless television and movie projects, sometimes as stunt doubles for some of your favorite stars. So, before they begin, let me introduce them to you. We have Nate Mitchell over here. Nate Mitchell. We got Tristan Ott and our stunt coordinator, Brock Markham. Welcome, guys. Brock, is it safe to say that stunt performers almost always double for actors when there's a fight scene?
The actors don't like getting hit in the face.
Hit in the face.
Yeah, like this.
Oh, is he okay?
No. You okay?
He's all right. I guess he gets it up. When staging a fight, the art of illusion is very important. All the moves have to be realistic enough to fool the camera, but without getting anybody injured. So the performers have to make it look believable. And now let me set our scene. Exterior, dark alley, dead of night. A couple nefarious characters are lurking about. Ready and action!
Where you going? Come here.
Needless to say, this isn't the type of thing any of our friends out there should try at home, right?
That's correct.
Great job, you guys. Don't worry, they'll be back. Did you notice the sound effects in that last scene? All those dynamic punches and the dumpster hits. Eric, what do we call those added sounds?
Foley! You've probably heard the term Foley before. It's the process of adding sounds to films after they've been shot. But do you know its origins? Jack Foley wore many hats. He was a writer, director, he was even a stunt double. But it's when he began producing sound effects for Universal Studios in the early 1920s that he truly began to make a name for himself. For over 30 years, he and his team worked here on the lot at Soundstage 10. If they couldn't recreate a sound on their stage, they would go out and get it live. In fact, they invented a technique called direct-to-picture, in which they would add sound effects to finished films all in one take. Everything that they did had to be completely in sync with the action on the screen, because even one mistake meant they had to start all over again from the very beginning. And to help us imagine what that must have been like, please welcome our first volunteer!
We have the Thomas Tobin family from Washington.
Oh yeah! Thank you so much for helping us out, guys. They are going to demonstrate how these ordinary items can be repurposed to sound like something completely different than what you guys might think. For example, this water bottle could be used to articulate the sound of bones breaking. Check it out. Pretty cool, right? And you kids can try that at home, because parents love it when children pretend to break their bones. Take a look at your side screens. We're going to show you a split screen. On one side, you're going to see the hit comedy Identity Thief with Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy. On the other side, you're going to see Universal's Foley artists hard at work.
Now I have a plan.
Oh yeah, that looks easy, right? We'll find out. That's a clip that they are going to Foley. But first, let's talk about the tools that we have up here on the stage. For Zayden, he's got a crash box. It's a wooden box that's filled with metal objects to sound like crashes. He also has some sneakers. Those will sound like running. For Zio, we've got 2 reams of paper and a cutting board. Those will sound like bodies are hitting the ground. For Dad, he's got 2 boxing gloves. Those will sound like the punch in the throat and the slaps on the face. Then for Mom, she's got a cowbell. This will be used for the moment where the panini maker hits Melissa McCarthy in the back of the shoulder. And then this is where we get crazy. Really use your imaginations here, because these handcuffs are going to sound like handcuffs. All right, you guys ready to do this? You'll be watching this big old monitor right over here, all right? If you guys are ready up in the booth, let's roll sound, speed, and action. sound effect in there. I love Dad on the boxing gloves. It looked like he was dancing at a wedding. Guys, stand along this line right here. Now you probably noticed that the clip seemed kind of empty. Well, now we're going to reintroduce the music, the dialogue, and we're going to add their newly recorded sound effects, and we're going to see how they did. Take a look and listen.
Get over here and give me your wrist. Okay? Now I have a plan.
Good. Alfred, you finish? Nailed it. Give her a round of applause.
Amazing, well done. While Universal has made great films in every genre, the studio really made a mark over the years, creating some of the industry's most terrifying thriller and horror films. Let's take a peek. With the use of very special horror effects. Emerging from the shadows just behind me are the stars of our horror family, some of the classic Universal monsters. We have Nickets of Dracula, Chucky and his bride, Michael Myers, Imhotep from The Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, and Mother Bates. The perfect setting for our next demonstration.
That's right, joining us all the way from Sonoma, California. Everyone say hi, Genesis.
Hi, Genesis. Genesis was picked for her very impressive scream. So Genesis, let's say that you were face to face with Norman Bates. Let's all hear how you would scream! Ah!
She would die adorably.
Yes. As you saw in that fight earlier, stunt performers have to have a very high pain threshold. So my question is, do you?
Well, do you?
Because this next demonstration involves movie blood. Does anyone know what Alfred Hitchcock used for movie blood in the original Psycho?
Shout it out! I heard it way over here first. Who said chocolate syrup? It's you! Well, then you win knowledge. That's right, chocolate syrup. The Psycho was a black and white film, so it didn't matter what color the blood was back then. But nowadays, movie blood has to be much more realistic.
Thank you for giving us a hand.
Literally! Now it's at this point in the show where I need to remind the kids, please do not try this at home.
Try it at a friend's house. All right, Genesis,
Here we go.
right arm out just like that. All right, now hold it still. Ready?
All right, what are you doing? You're not really going to use a machete on Genesis.
Genesis, I'm sorry, I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. I'm not going to use a machete.
No.
I have a sharper knife.
Okay.
Okay, take a look at the side screens, everybody, and scream on 3, Genesis, okay? 1, 2, 3! She's okay! Was it the laughter that gave it away? This is a classic cinematic horror technique, a Hollywood blood knife. Take a look. This is a false blade with a cutout for her arm that comes out of the handle like that. Meanwhile, I'm squeezing movie blood from this bulb back here so that it comes out of a tube right where the notch is, so it looks like it is bleeding right from her arm. Give it up for Genesis!
Amazing. Genesis, you'd be great. I wish I could say, but I got some of that blood on my fancy pants here, Susan.
Oh.
Why don't I give you her phone? I'll be right back, all right?
Oh, you're gonna love your next outfit.
Oh, great.
Genesis, you can come with me. I promised you a photo as our thank you, right? So if you want to set up your camera on your phone, I will take your picture. Perfect. Let me pose you with our classic Universal monsters. Your spotlight is right down here. Yeah, you can stand right up here. Perfect. Do whatever kind of horror pose you want to do. You're the star of the show. All right. That's great, yeah. And scream again on 3, all right? 1, 2, 3! frame. Genesis, that was amazing. I wish we could see that again. We can. Take a look. Horror photo in action. Give it up for Genesis one more time. Great job. So far, we have shown you practical effects. Now we're going to switch to visual effects, which are done in a computer, specifically motion capture. So to help me demonstrate motion capture, or mocap, welcome back my co-host, Eric.
This outfit's tight.
Seriously, it's tight.
We can tell. Let's activate our perimeter sensors, please. So the dots on his suit reflect light to our sensors, which then goes into our computer and captures all of their locations. So if you're ready,
Yeah, let's do it.
let's see the capture on our screens. Now the computer connects the dots on his suit and creates the digital skeleton that you see. So you can start with a T-pose. Great. We always start with this T-pose to mark the beginning of each take. That way it's easier for us to. Eric?
Saw that? Gross.
Take your left hand, touch the tip of your nose, and now your right hand. And let's do both arms one more time.
Okay.
So we start with some simple movements so that we can calibrate our system. And you can relax your arms. Next, we do full body movements. Start with jumping jacks. Great. In a little bit, you can just jog in place.
Sounds good.
So digital animators will start with the skeleton. Then they can change the aspect ratio, add a wire frame on top. Finally, they can add skins. Using this technology, we can turn Eric and his movements into anything that we want. So Eric, we turned you into a cuddly, friendly teddy bear.
Teddy bear, hello.
Aw, but you're not just any teddy bear.
What's that?
You are the star of Universal's Ted.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you got some moves for Ted.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that's where that came from, Susan. Check this out. Ready? How about a bit of that?
okay.
How about a little something for the ladies? Wahoo!
Well, Eric, you have channeled the inner Ted. Hey, Ted, what do you think of the show so far?
That's why I watch these things. It's like a cool behind the scenes thing that you wouldn't know.
Thunder Buddies, Ted?
Thunder Buddies for life.
Aw, you made a Thunder Buddy. Give it up for Ted and Eric.
We'll get ready for the finale.
Good idea. Fun fact, Seth MacFarlane had a modified mocap suit made by Phil Tippett Studios so that he could act and direct at the same time. Let's take a look at the genius behind Ted.
We were able to do Ted in a completely lifelike way and to use technology in a way that it really hasn't been used to date. What that technology does so well is it takes fantastical characters and makes them as realistic in movement as possible.
As far as technology has come with CGI and visual effects, some things just look better when they're real, like fire. Let's take a look at fire stunts in some Universal films. One of the most exciting and dangerous aspects of filmmaking is undoubtedly a fire stunt. And we're gonna bring back out our top-notch stunt department to show you how they execute a live fire burn. Nate in the center is the performer we will be setting on fire. We have our coordinator Brock and Tristan acting as our safeties. If you look at Nate's face, you may be wondering, is he so nervous that he's sweating profusely? That is protective fire gel he's got on all of his exposed skin areas. You may know what it's like if you miss a spot with sunscreen. Imagine if you missed a spot while on fire. No, before we fuel, we check our extinguishers in case of an early ignition.
Excuse me. We're ready to fuel.
Copy.
Tristan, you ready? Ready. Nate, you ready? Ready. Fueling.
At the completion of the shot, Nate will make his way to this fire blanket where he will be extinguished. At that point, we are looking for a thumbs up that he is okay. If Nate gives us a thumbs down, that is an alert to get our medical team involved. Now at this point, I do need to stress that these are trained professionals and they're using very special equipment. The This is not the type of thing anyone should ever think about trying on their own. Nate is going to burn for 8 to 10 seconds. And we're at the last spot where the fuel will be applied. So as we get close, we can send this to our booth to set the lights in the house for the shot, and our clock to 0 on the side screens. Everyone, please remain in your seats for the duration of the stunt. And whenever you're ready, Brock.
Thank you. Tristan, you ready? Ready. Nate, ready to burn? Ready.
Ready and action.
Lighting. You're lit.
Seconds.
You're out.
There's the thumbs up. He is okay. And he went for almost 15 seconds. Keep it going for our stunt coordinator, Brock Markham, our safety, Tristan Ott, and the man we set on fire, Nate Mitchell. Well done, guys. Well, if you're not sure if that was real fire out there, just ask the folks right down here. Could we feel the heat?
Susan,
Yes.
Susan, I'm ready for the fire burn.
Eric, we just did the burn.
What's that?
We just did it.
Hey, let's do one more. You're lit.
Oh, Susan, we're doing it! I'm on fire! I'm on fire! This is serious stuff, guys! Save the children! Save the children! Oh, it's so hot! Oh, it's so hot! Susan! Susan! Put me out! Put me out! Susan!
You're out.
I'm okay.
He's okay.
We did it!
Eric,
How long did I go for?
So many seconds.
So many seconds.
So many seconds.
That's great. Let's give it for the special effects show stunt department. They were amazing, right?
All